Hey y'all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to First Responder Readiness podcast with me, Alicia Black, your gracious host, the athletics trainer, strength and conditioning specialist who specializes in the tactical athletes, the first responders, the firefighters, the paramedics, the EMS personnel. Welcome. So today we're breaking down fit for duty testing, what it measures, what it misses, and what first responders actually need to stay ready. Do you feel strong and capable on shift, but find yourself exhausted halfway through? Do you train in the gym but still feel unprepared when the call hits? Are you starting to wonder if wear and tear just comes with the job? If so, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Alicia Black, an athletic trainer, strength and conditioning specialist, and a first responder performance coach. I help tactical professionals build strength that actually transfers to the job, manage fatigue, train with intention, and create durability without adding more stress to an already demanding schedule. If you're ready to train for the call, not just the gym, recover smarter, and build a body that lasts through your career, lace up your boots, shift starting, let's go. For today, my goal is to help you shift your mindset from I just need to pass the test to be ready for the job every day. So you pass the test, you meet the standard, you check the box. That's great. I'm glad that there is a fitness standard that needs to be upheld for you to be able to do your job. But then you get on a call and it doesn't feel the same. So the question is passing a test the same as being ready for the actual job? And if you're trying to figure out how to actually stay ready for the job and not just pass a test, I created something for you. It's called the Fit for the Call Insider, where I share tips on recovery, injury prevention, and job specific exercise selections. Hit the link in the show notes to join. All right, so you're in police academy or you're in fire academy, and that's great, obviously, that there is a testing component so that you will have an understanding of how well you're able to do the job, how well you'll be able to make it through a shift, how durable, how physically fit your body is for the job. Police officers and firefighters, I don't believe there is a fitness standard in any sort of way for a paramedic, and that alone is a problem. But for the ones who have a fitness standard, the problem with testing is it gives you a snapshot versus real world demands. So I did a little research and looked it up. And for my police officer, yes, it's amazing that there is a test, but the testing that's what really only done in the academy, it consists of a 500-meter row. This is specific to Houston, HPD. And then there's a 1 mile run, and then there's a weapons component so that you know how to draw your weapon and everything. Okay, but what else are you having to do on the job? Like I said, just a snapshot versus the real world demands. How is just doing those couple movements, which it's just the 500-meter row and the run, okay, but is there not leg strength that you need to have? Is there not muscular endurance capability that you need to have? Questions. As far as the firefighters, obviously there's a more extensive testing protocol for my firefighters. So here again, I looked up, did a little research for Houston specifically. They have the ladder raise, they have the stair climb with equipment, they have hose line hoist, they have equipment carry, and then they have victim rescue. And then depending on how long it takes you to get through all of that, you might or you might not have a rest period after that. And then once you get done with all of those, then you run a 1.5 mile run needing to be done under a certain amount of time. Again, how often are these being tested after academy? And it's great for the stair climb, so there's a little bit more of a muscular endurance capacity than in the police testing. But what about mobility? How mobile are you? What does the mobility look like in your ankles, in your knees, in your hips? How strong are you? What is your squat looking like? What is your deadlift looking like? Like all of these things. And then along with that, my issue with like a mile run or a 1.5 mile run or a row is, how is there a better test that translates to the job specifically? I worked in a high school setting for a while, and I would see all the time how they would have the basketball team go run cross country to build up their endurance. Now, I don't know, you can be the most novice of novice when it comes to understanding the sport of basketball and cross country, but I think everybody knows that cross country is a sustained run over a long period of time, versus in basketball, it's more of short bursts of sprints over a long period of time. So just running a long distance, thinking that you're going to be prepared from a capacity standpoint and your body is going to be prepared for basketball, it kind of doesn't match. And I see that same thing here when it comes to police and firefighter testing. Does it need to be an endurance testing and capacity testing? Yes, but it needs to translate more closely to the job than just general, hey, you need to be able to do this. Another problem with just testing is, like I said, there's no fatigue component. So once you do the test, like, you're not testing in a fatigued state, you're testing hopefully in the most fresh that you can be. You know, they're telling you to get a good night's sleep and eat a good breakfast and all the things. And yes, that's true. But again, we're talking about being ready for test or being able to pass the test versus being prepared on the job. And on the job, you're going to be doing a lot of the work that you're going to be doing, saving your patients, fighting a fire, combating an assailant. You're going to need to be able to withstand that call or withstand what you're having to do. And just a little snapshot that you get from testing, that's not really a good representation of that. So there needs to be a component of you're fatigued and now we're going to test you to give you a real good understanding of what it's going to look like and what it's going to feel like for you. Another aspect is there's no movement quality. So all of these things, again, the firefighter test is more extensive than the police officer test, but there was like no crawling, no having to maneuver your body into small, tight spaces. And from what I understand, those are things that you're going to have to do. And again, there's no recovery consideration. So after you're fatigued or once you have finished your test, what is it? Okay, sit down, catch your breath, go drink some electrolytes, and then go on. But how is that preparing you for your years that you're going to have to be on this job doing what you've been called to do? And that is exactly why I am here and why I have created this podcast and why I have created the coaching program, the coaching container that I have. I've talked about fatigue and performance in earlier episodes, episode 14 and episode 17. Please go listen to those. And how training needs to transfer to the job. I talked about that in episode 18. I'm not here to just come and poop on the testing standards that the police officers and the firefighters have. I am here to kind of poop on what the paramedics, EMS, don't have, because it's a physical job and you're going to be lifting patients, and so you need to be able to do something. But I think that it can be better. How can it be better, you ask? There could be more movement quality. What is how much movement, how much available movement, mobility do you have in the shoulders? Your grip strength, your hip mobility, your ankle mobility, like all of these play a part in you being able to be durable for your job in the long run. Strength under load, how that's more like a muscular endurance thing. So a wall sit or a split squat stance, isometric holding, how well are you able to maintain your strength under the load that you're going to be under? Fatigue endurance. You're going to get fatigued. The calls are going to be long. The shifts are going to be long. You're not going to get that much sleep. I know I've talked about sleep recovery and sleep deprivation and all that, but at the end of the day, like, it is a part of the job. And so the fatigue is going to accumulate. How can you still maintain the strength and the endurance that you need while your body is fatigued? And then recovery. All of us need to recover, but because you are constantly in this high stress environment and your body is just being depleted of everything, you need to learn how to recover. You need to be taught how to recover properly so that you can be refreshed for your next shift. And these are the things that I talk about in my coaching framework. Man, that really seemed like a lot, and I felt like I was fussing a little bit, but I just care. I've seen firsthand how this profession just beats you down, just beats your body down. And I think the more prepared that you can be, the better. Let's think about an NFL combine, which it's kind of just to see how well they think that you will be able to adapt and be in the NFL. But anyway, so let's just say it was a testing standard. So you go through all of the stuff in the NFL combine. They don't just throw you out there and be like, okay, game days are on this day. No, there are strength and conditioning coaches and athletic trainers and all these people that are devoted to building up these players' bodies. And I feel like it should be the same thing for you, first responders. I've seen firsthand how this profession breaks your body down. My brother is a paramedic, and I saw the things that he was going through. And so I'm just talking from a person who cares. So your homework is, ask yourself, would I pass this test at hour 18 of a shift? If you want help figuring out what readiness actually looks like for you, book a 1-hour coaching call with me, and you can find the link for that in the show notes. See you next time. Hey, first responder, I hope today's episode served you. If it did, take 30 seconds and share it with a partner or teammate who could use it too. The reality is most of us push through longer than we should. And if you haven't yet, leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts. It genuinely helps the show reach more responders who need it. Take care of yourself and take care of each other out there. And I'll meet you back here for the next episode. Bye.